Neera's politics are a little bit inscrutable. She, she's kind of all over the place depending on, she's just kind of, I guess you would say, like a Democrat team player. Like it's hard to really like pin her down on like, what does she believe? What is she for? What, like she doesn't take any particular bold stand. So, I mean, in the past when, Obama was floating cuts to Medicare and Social Security, she was going on TV saying, yeah, we should cut Social Security and Medicare.
Yeah.
And like, unlike our good friend David Sirota, I don't know what to, she's empty, like I couldn't pin that down and be like, she hates Social Security. She doesn't, that's even the wrong question to ask. She doesn't care, you know what I mean? Like,
she doesn't care. She doesn't,
Yeah. My favorite is the quote from her mom who says, my daughter can be very aggressive. She's not going to let anyone rule over her. And she has loyalty to Hillary because Hillary is the one who made her. Like her own mother kind of just describes her as a party loyalist, Hillary acolyte who's aggressive, as we know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Physically.
I think that's right. But that means that therefore she could do whatever. And to the extent that Biden almost did actually seem like he wanted to cut Social Security, like based on his long record of talking about it and talking about it in the context of being like, I know this is real unpopular, but like in that context, like, I don't know what else to make of that than like, you're really into this. So I don't know.
The best thing you can say about Neera Tanden, she's just going to go which way the wind blows.
Yeah.
And
so
the worst thing you
push
can
her.
So we can't. Well, we can't push her. That's the thing. We can't push her. The people who donate to CAP can push her. The people who Joe Biden can push her.
And they won't, and because they don't care.
Well, she'll go whatever direction. If Biden comes in and says, okay, we got to cut a deal with Mitch McConnell, we got to deal with these entitlements, then she's going to be the point person who goes on Meet the Press and advertise these things. I think what fascinates us about Neera, at least me anyway, is that there's nothing unique or interesting about her. There's thousands and thousands of soulless opportunists in Washington, D.C. who do the exact same thing. She is simply someone who posts 12 hours a day about it.
Which is frankly her most relatable quality.
That's that's fascinating. She doesn't have to do this shit. She makes $500,000 a year at a do-nothing job as the president of CAP. Obviously do nothing because she has the time to post all day. And yet she posts all day. And she posts things that do get her in trouble at times.
Yeah, no, like her confirmation is seriously at risk because of the stuff she said about Republicans. I mean, I don't know. Some people will say, well, that's cynical or whatever, but I don't think the Republicans are going to resist most of the nominees that have been put out. But because she kind of did like resistance liberal Twitter for 4 years and has, decided to talk about how Susan Collins sucks and whatever, like she could for sure like maybe not get confirmed, especially if they win one of those Georgia races.
Well, I would like to see some pressure on the leftmost senators to sink her nomination. Because, I mean, what she gave to the right, attack dog against the right, that's whatever. But she was one of those visible attack dogs against the left. Yeah. And what's most aggravating about this person and the people who defend her and the people who are fans of her, which is one of the sickest things I can imagine, is being a fan of the head of a Washington think tank.
Right.
Like you've got the Neera Tanden rookie baseball card. The most aggravating thing is their shameless use of identity politics to defend right-wing policy, to defend slashing entitlements. It's the double talk of, the crap about hand-ups and, we're gonna reform opportunity and all of that shit, which is all just code for we're gonna slash Social Security, we're gonna privatize Medicare, da-da-da. But it's also saying, as a woman of color, we have to do these things, and I think that's where
she knows she was on welfare. So.
And that's the sickest
shameless.
part to me. I was on welfare. My mother relied on these programs that I'm now talking about and referring to as entitlements and how I'm going to cut them. And then someone turns around and asks me, "Well, she's a woman of color. Doesn't that matter to you? Isn't that representational politics beneficial?" It's so perverse. I frankly think that sort of thing should be disqualifying. Frankly, the fact that she's been such a terrible manager. I mean, how many people have worked under her who have now spoken out about how she was abusive? She, outed the name of the woman who had brought sexual harassment claims at CAP out of vindictiveness, apparently. People like Zed Jelani and Faz Shakir have obviously spoken about the way that she was abusive as a manager. She obviously physically punched Faz Shakir Shakir in front of witnesses. I mean, imagine a world where you just finished running a presidential campaign and the number 2 guy's campaign manager was assaulted by a woman who you now want to head up the office of management and budget.